Well, hello to you all for Irish 2000 Guineas Day. It really is a cracking meeting at the Curragh, and with a warm spell dominating over this weekend, there's some fine racing to be had, yes. Of course, I'll be switching over to Jaysella quite a bit, as she is at Haydock Park on Saturday, and also has a big pick at York, so let us get on with the action. First up for me in Ireland is Purview in the Orbee Stakes. I do think that the first of the black type races can go to Dermot Weld's Purview, and it looks like the markets have been telling us that this week. First time out for the season for Purview, I'll grant you that, but this Kingman colt has run well fresh before, finishing second to Delacroix at Leopardstown last year. The Juddmonte Silks have been showing plenty in the winners' enclosures over the last few weeks, and I'm of the opinion that this is another in the green and pink that can enhance a reputation. Last season's Loughbrown Stakes winner, Chally Shoot, must be on your list, and did win first time out last year, while Joseph O'Brien has a strong quartet, of which Trust Your Instinct may have the most scope. Yes, I'll be sticking with the favourite Purview, with Colin Keane definitely adding to my plus points. And now, let's get over to Jaysella at Haydock Park.
Thanks, Caroline. And yes, what a weekend's racing we've got in store. Sunday morning, Romantic Warrior goes for the Triple Crown at Sha Tin, and that's one not to miss. Our man in Hong Kong, Kobe, is over to bring you the full race breakdown. I always say there's nothing like a purple patch of form, so hat-trick seeking Langstone gets my vote for the Silver Bowl at Haydock Park. He won a novice stakes on good to soft ground on Doncaster's Town Moor track back in March. So with plenty of sun about up here on Merseyside, I'm reckoning the ground can only improve, and it is Clive Cox's grey that stands out for me. William Haggas has his yard popping out the winners, so Princeling has to be given a bit of respect, right? While Hugo Palmer's Laureate Crown is also on a hat-trick, but would need the ground to firm up a bit. Yep, Langstone is easy to back from here, with the bonus of Clifford Lee staying here to take this ride among others, rather than going to Ireland for the meeting at the Curragh. Now, back to Caroline for the Greenlands.
Thanks, JC, and the support race to the 2000 Guineas is the Greenland Stakes. A proven Group 1 performer winning the Keeneland Phoenix Stakes at 2, Bucanero Fuerte is my pick for the Greenlands. Although this Wooten Basset colt can be pretty rapid out of the stalls, I'm telling Yuz that I think he's better at 6 furlongs now, and although he does like to lead, it at least gives David Egan options through this race. British raider Powerful Glory caused an enormous upset when a 200-1 winner of the Champions Sprint Stakes at Ascot last October, so has to be on your list under Jamie Spencer, while Carl Burke's Spycatcher is classy enough on his day, though might prefer softer going. Bucanero Fuerte, I'm going to keep faith with for now, hoping he has more group wins in him. And now I know you have one at York for us, Jaysella.
Yeah, I have, Caroline. No doubt about this one for me. It's Danielle to take the Bronte Cup at pretty short odds, I'd guess. But John and Thady Gosden's Cracksman mare is way above this lot in the ratings and should be winning at a canter, though Ed Walker's Miss Alpills has stamina assured and could push Danielle hard from the off. Also, I do think that Danielle would prefer just a bit of give in this ground, and that not being such a concern for Miss Alpills, it could be closer than the markets suggest. A good duel in store, but on balance, Danielle should be just too good for these, despite the good going, as Miss Alpills keeps her up to her work. Going back to the start of the Haydock Park meet, Friendly Soul is my nap for the Hedge of Oak Stakes. With just a bit of cut in the ground at Haydock Park, it's hard to see past Friendly Soul at this listed level. The winner of the Group 1 Prix de l'Opéra at Paris-Longchamp back in October, Friendly Soul is 5 from 6 so far in her career, with the only defeat coming in the Musidora at York, her Oaks trial where she might have been turned out too quickly, so one I'm happy to draw a line through. Joseph O'Brien's. We might take Dee Longway, didn't really fire in the Noblesse Stakes at Cork on her first run this season, but with first-time cheek pieces may prove to be the biggest threat to my pick. David Loughnane's prolific winner, Sparks Fly, completes my shortlist, but Friendly Soul under Oisin, Murphy is hard to go against. And now back to Caroline at the Curragh for her next best.
Thanks, Jaysella, and yes, my next best is next up. In the Gallinule Stakes, the Ballydoyle yard of Aidan O'Brien have smothered the top of the markets this week for this Group 3, but it's Drop Dead Gorgeous that appeals most to me. This is a bit interesting, mind, because Ryan Moore has taken up The Ride on Causeway, who has fancy enough entries in both Derbies and the Coral Eclipse at Sandown Park. But being a Dubawi filly, I'm of the opinion at 3 that Drop Dead Gorgeous will be better suited to this new trip. There I sit, up there to be shot down. But Wayne Lorden has already taken Group 1 honours this year, and I'll chance my luck he can win again for us here. Drop Dead Gorgeous to nick this one from Hot Favourite Causeway, I hope. So fingers crossed, but let's get back to you, JC, at Haydock Park.
Right, Caroline, and let's get to the Sandy Lane Stakes. You probably all know what high regard I had for Venetian Sun last year, and she showed me enough in the 1,000 guineas at Newmarket on her seasonal return to get the vote here. Now, we learnt from that Newmarket run that Venetian Sun is not a miler, well, not yet anyway, but I never had her down to win over that trip. For me, she's an out-and-out sprinter, and a top-class one at that. Now, I've said that, of course, she's got to prove she can do it. On ground, with cut, but the weather's set fair and can only improve, so time will tell. No complaints about the draw, though, coming out of stall 3, so with the pacey Brussels inside of her, Venetian Sun could be drawn into this race nicely. I would rate Clive Cox's Koppel as the main danger, ahead of Market Leader Division, but Cliff Lee has given up a classic ride at the Curragh to be on Venetian Sun, and that's more than enough for me. Next up, it will be no surprise to me at all if Chagrin wins the Temple Stakes, given the conditions, ahead of the brilliant mare Asfoora. You can't knock Clive Cox's reputation as a trainer for these sprint contests, so on this ground, Chagrin is easy to back against the Australian-bred Asfoora, and there's sure to be loads of pace on from the front end, with Jim Goldie's American Affair and John and Sean Quinn's JM Jungle all lining up. It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, but I reckon it is set up for Chagrin, ahead of Night Raider and American Affair. And now back to you one final time, Caroline. For the big un.
Thanks, JC. And yes, it's the 2,000 guineas here at the Curragh. I'm sure that you'll be agreeing with me in that this is Gstad's race to lose. Never out of the first 2 as a juvenile, he was the only one that came anywhere close to Newmarket's 2,000 guineas. Winner, Beau, Echo, the last day. And the measure of his dominance is that Charlie Appleby's Distant Storm, 3rd in that Newmarket Classic, is available at 5-1 as a second favourite, with Alparslan then next in the market at around 9-1. It does look a one-horse race, so Gstad has to be my pick.